One of the best ways to start making some extra cash is by starting a side hustle. But there's a problem, and that is there's lots of people out there talking about and recommending side hustles that they've never even done themselves, and I don't see how you can recommend something if you've got no experience of it. That's not the case with this video, because all the side hustles that I'm going to talk about are things that I'm actually doing myself. Because, bit of background on me, I've been a solopreneur in the digital space since 2012, and over that time I've tried lots of different ways of making money online. Some have been really good, some have been a complete waste of time. So this list is all based on personal experience. And for each of the side hustles, I'm also going to give a rating of how easy they are to get started and also how easy they are to make money from, to hopefully give you some idea of whether these side hustles are going to be suitable for you or not. But before I get into the list, I want to talk about what makes a good side hustle. And for me, it has to hit 3 criteria. The first one is it needs to be flexible. You need to be able to work on this around your existing commitments. You also need to be able to work on it from anywhere, as long as you've got access to the internet, obviously. The second one is it needs to be scalable. This should be something that you could potentially turn from a side hustle into your full-time income and beyond. And you also should be able to do it primarily on your own. You don't need a massive team of people in order to build a 6-figure business. And number 3, the income source should be relatively passive. So you're not actually actively having to trade your time for money or actively go out chasing sales and things like that. It should be something you can automate as much as possible and make the income as passive as you possibly can. So come on, let's get on with the list. So side hustle number 1 is to build an email newsletter, and this is something I recently got started with myself because I see a lot of potential in it, and I'll leave a link to it in the description below if you want to go and check it out for yourself. But how easy is it to start an email newsletter? Well, I'm going to give this a rating of 3 out of 5 because the actual process of getting it set up is relatively simple. Just go to somewhere like Substack or MailChimp, sign up for a free account, and that's the foundations of your email newsletter in place. The challenge comes when it comes to getting people to subscribe to your newsletter. And there's various different ways you can do it, but there's lots of people doing really well by actually being very active on social media, providing value to audiences out there and convincing them to sign up to their newsletter so they'll provide them even more value through their newsletter. Something to think about. So how easy is it to make money from an email newsletter? Well, I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5 because the amount of money you make from your newsletter is going to depend on the size of your email list. The larger it is, the easier it becomes to make money from it. But there are quite a few different ways you can actually monetize an email newsletter. You can do affiliate marketing, you can sell sponsorships, you can also sell your own products and courses. So there's lots of ways you can monetize it, you just need to build up that email list to start with. And the reason why I like newsletters as a side hustle is because it's one of the few ways you can actually communicate directly with your audience. You're not reliant on third-party algorithms, which just makes life so much easier because you have more control over your business. The only thing I would say is make sure you're consistent with your newsletter. So if you say you're going to send it every Saturday, make sure you send it every Saturday. And side hustle number 2 is to create an online course, which is something I did a couple of years ago. And since I recorded it and posted it, it's been getting signups every single month and means it's generating me income every single month, which makes it a pretty good side hustle in my opinion. But how easy is it to get started? Well, I'd actually say this is one of the more difficult ones, and I'll give this a rating of 5 out of 5. The reason is there's a lot of work that goes into actually creating a course. First, you've got to decide on something you're actually going to create a course about. The second one is you need to put in the research to see if people are actually going to be interested in that type of course before you actually sit down and make it. And then the third step is actually making the course, so planning it out, recording it, making all the additional stuff that you're going to go with it. So there's a lot of upfront work that comes into creating a course. But how easy is it to make money from an online course? Well, I'm going to give this a rating of 4 out of 5 because it can be quite challenging to get people to sign up. And there's 2 main ways you can do it. The first one is to create your own marketing funnel, which if you get this off to a fine art, you can basically automate the process and it can be a good revenue driver. The second one is to use basically course marketplaces such as Udemy that will do a lot of the marketing for you. But just be aware they do take a good chunk of the revenue. But the reason why I like online courses as a side hustle is because basically learning online has had much more mainstream adoption since the pandemic, and people are much more willing to learn new skills, especially things outside of traditional academia, online, where these are personal or professional skills. They're more willing to learn this online through the medium of an online course. So side hustle number 3 is to sell digital products. And this is something I'm going to be doing a lot more and investing a lot more time and energy into over the next few months because I see lots of potential with it. And my background is in e-commerce, selling physical products, and I wish I got into digital products a long time ago because they offer some serious advantages over physical products. The main one for me is the logistics things of not having to buy, store and ship stock. I've basically automated the process that leaves me more time to do other things, which with how much stuff I've got going on is a blessing, trust me. But how easy is it to get started with selling digital products? Well, I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5 because the challenge when it comes to finding a product is finding something that's actually going to sell. Because there's lots of information out there on blogs, on YouTube, of people giving digital product ideas, but the problem is a lot of these markets are extremely saturated. Whereas what I did with my digital product was there was a niche I knew about and there was a problem that needed solving, and I created a digital product that solved that problem. And that's something I think is the best way to go about it, because when you solve a problem, it's more likely to get people to buy that product. So how easy is it to make money from digital products? I'm actually going to give this one a 2 out of 5 because I think it's one of the easiest ones to make money from, because there's lots of different ways you can sell digital products, and if your product is solving a problem, it's going to be easier to market it and get people to potentially buy that product. Plus, there's lots of outlets where you can sell. You can use things like Etsy. There's lots of marketplaces out there for certain types of products, and you can also build your own website to sell digital products as well. So I think it's one of the ones that's potentially the easiest to make money from. And as I say, this is something I'm going to be investing a lot more of my time and energy into over the next few months, is building out my digital product business, because I do see a lot of potential when it comes to these type of products. So side hustle number 4 is to start a YouTube channel. Now, I've actually been doing YouTube for quite a few years, not on this channel obviously, but I do have a fully monetized YouTube channel, and it's been a great source of income over the last few years, and I still think it's a great opportunity when it comes to starting a side hustle. So how easy is it to get started with YouTube? I'm actually going to give this a rating of 1 out of 5 because I think it's one of the easiest to start, because you can literally pull your phone out of your pocket, record a quick video, post it to YouTube, and you've got started. It's that simple. The only thing I'd recommend is actually choose a niche for your channel, but it is super simple to get started. So how easy is it to make money from a YouTube channel? Well, I'm going to give this a rating of 3 out of 5 because I actually think it's pretty easy. Now, a lot of people get obsessed with joining the YouTube Partner Program so they can run ads on their videos. In order to do this, you need 4,000 hours watch time and 1,000 subscribers, which can take a while to achieve. But the joys of YouTube is there's other ways you can make money from your channel. You can do affiliate marketing, you can have sponsors on your channel, you can promote your own products, you can have your own course that you can promote. There's lots of different ways you can make money before you hit that, basically the threshold in order to join the YouTube Partner Program. And I made over $1,000 from my YouTube channel, my other YouTube channel, before I even joined the program. So you can make money from a YouTube channel before you get to the point of running ads, which is why I gave it a 3 out of 5. And YouTube can be a great side hustle because YouTube is more popular than ever. And that's why I created this second channel, because I think there's so much opportunity on the platform. And side hustle number 5 is to start a blog. And this is actually what I spend most of my time doing because I have 4 active blogs. What can I say? I just don't like having time to myself. But I still think it's a great business opportunity. And even though things have been a little bit disrupted with AI at the moment, I still think there's plenty of opportunities out there while I'm still investing my time and energy into my blogs. So how easy is it to get started with a blog? Well, I'd actually give this a rating of 3 out of 5 because I don't think it's that difficult. Because all you need is to choose a niche, buy a domain name, buy some web hosting, and install WordPress. Now, the learning curve with a self-hosted WordPress site, which is something I do recommend using, is a little bit steeper than some other platforms, but fortunately, there's loads of tutorials out there. YouTube's full of some absolutely awesome ones to help you get started. So how easy is it to make money from a blog? Well, I'm actually going to give this a rating of 5 out of 5 because when you're just getting started, it can be one of the more difficult ones to make money from. The reason is, in order to make money from a blog, you need traffic, and that is the problem you need to solve. But once you start figuring this out with SEO, creating awesome content, being active on social media, things like that, there's different ways you can solve that problem. And once you start to solve that problem, it starts to become a lot easier to make money. And there's plenty of different ways you can make money from a blog. Because you make money from affiliate marketing, ads, you can sell your own products. There's lots of different ways you can make money from a blog, which is why I do like it. And blogging is my favorite side hustle, even though it's the one that is arguably the most challenging to start making money from. When you do start making money from it, because you start solving that traffic problem, you start to see a snowball effect with your income, and it just starts to rise almost exponentially. Another reason why I like it so much is it's a great foundation for building from, because with all of my blogs, that is the core of it. And then I can add other things to it. So I can add a YouTube channel, I can start building my email newsletter, I could potentially sell digital products through it, or add an online course to it. So there's lots of different things you can add onto a blog and use that as a foundation, which is why it's my favorite side hustle. So there you go, those are my 5 favorite side hustles and what I'm actively working on in my business. But what did you think? Let me know in the comments. Also, if you're working on any other side hustles, drop them in the comments below, because I'm always interested to hear what other people are working on. But if this video was helpful in any way, shape or form, a like would be really appreciated. But stay awesome guys, and I'll see you in the next one.